Oh my goodness. Hello. Happy Thursday. This is my favorite part of my favorite day of the week. It's Nonprofit Shoutout Interview Day. I'm Ryan Lanier with Organizing for Good, and I have Chelsey today. She's going to be here talking all about an incredible nonprofit you cannot wait to hear about called GirlStart. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me and for choosing to talk about GirlStart today. We're thrilled to be partnering with you.
Oh, I know people are going to be totally wowed by what you guys are doing. So please just jump right in. Tell us just give us all the goods on what GirlStart is.
Great. Yeah. So GirlStart was founded in Austin about 23 years ago. We're a nonprofit 501c3 that focuses on empowering girls in science, technology, engineering, and math. So back when we first started, I was not around, but I've heard many of stories where our founder and our early fundraisers were like, yeah, we provide STEM education for girls. And they were like, STEM cells, what? And it's like, no.
Right.
Yeah. So science, technology, engineering, and math for girls, primarily focusing on communities and schools that are in that kind of Title I area. So underserved communities, students who don't have access to traditional technology, laptops, those kinds of things, Wi-Fi in the home. And so we bring our materials, we bring the curriculum, the mentors, we even do some social emotional learning in some of our curricula. So we bring all of that to the students where they're at school. Of course, we've had to change how we implement our programs this year. So we are hosting, I like to call our programs, they're kind of a hybrid program. So it's virtual, but it's still hands-on. It's remote, but it's still, interpersonal. Yeah, that's what we do, STEM education for girls. And our goal is to empower more girls and bring more women to our leadership positions in those career fields, right? We need more female representation in the science industry, in engineering, all of those different fields. So that is our primary mission. And we do that by, providing access and resources to girls in 4th through 8th grades. So we primarily are working in elementary and middle school. Our main program is our after school program. And again, that's the one I'm talking about where we're going to the schools, bringing the materials, all of that. And then we do host summer camps as well. So if you're local to Austin and you know a 4th through 8th grader, or you have a 4th through 8th grader who's a girl who wants to learn a little bit more about the fun and the science and technology, engineering, and math behind life, they can definitely sign up for our summer camps. We always release those registrations early next year. We typically do about February and March. And then aside from that, just getting involved with GirlStart, we go to those after school programs. And one thing that I did want to touch on is, we support students in those age range, 4th through 8th, right? But the people who are implementing our programs are actually called STEM crew. So those are our creative, resourceful, and empowered women. And so we're hiring and paying and providing job experience to these students who are in college, who are either studying education or one of the STEM acronyms. And it really creates this great organic relationship between the 4th, the younger student who's aspiring to go to college, and then the college student who's doing it, right? And then, it also provides them the opportunity to gain that, that job experience and that history in GirlStart as a reference, et cetera. So it's a nice cycle that GirlStart has created and has worked really well over the last 23 years and continues to work really well. So that's kind of the lowdown on GirlStart and our organization.
That is amazing. And you said it's been around for 23 years, so that doesn't surprise me at all that you weren't there when it started. What were you, like 2 then?
No, not quite.
You're a youngin'. I love that what you guys are providing is multi-generational support to women, both giving and receiving. Mentorships, guiding, mentoring in general is, I feel like, probably I don't want to say a lost art, but like something that we should have in all fields. Mentoring is just amazing to receive. I mean, I think it starts probably all the girls look up to the crew. And I want to say that again, creative, resourceful, empowered women is what you're calling the interns, which is so much better word than an intern.
Right.
Whoever thought of that, that's really, really great. So they're looking up to the crew girls. They want to be the crew girls, you know, so that is just, I love a mentorship model. I think that's what I'm looking for. So, I mean, in a perfect world, without COVID, you're doing this hands-on. You're taking care of these kids who are already not going home in the afternoons. They're in the extended, they call it extended care, mostly here in the
Right.
AISD area.
I think so, yeah.
Right. So you're not, and I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about an extended care, but it's all right. So it sounds like this is really giving them life skills and empowering them to be thinkers, right? Get their hands in there with forward career choices. Like, hey, like this is something I can do. So, but it is COVID. So give us how you guys, I mean, no doubt the meeting started right away.
We did.
We saw the writing on the wall in March. So
yes, yeah. So it was about February, March that we had to start, transitioning our programs, and it was a little bumpy at the beginning because we weren't quite sure, right? The students that we are reaching and engaging with don't necessarily have access to Wi-Fi or their own dedicated device, and a lot of their parents were starting to either work from home or weren't able to be home. And so it was a challenge for us to start to navigate, especially because we serve students in over 23 districts, and every district is doing something different. So 80 schools, 23 districts, lots of different logistics to navigate. But the spring was a little bumpy. This summer, we really nailed down the program that we felt like was best fit. A lot of our districts at that point had dedicated Wi-Fi technologies. If they hadn't, we stepped in and provided that for the few students that didn't have it. Over the summer, our summer camp. So I should say the students who are in our after school program are also invited to our summer camp programs. So
great.
Similar students, similar demographics and all that. So those students, if they didn't have a dedicated technology device, we got them a laptop. Every student who participated in our summer camp program got a robot in their kit. So we did a mailed kit to their house, and then we did virtual curriculum and meetings over Zoom. And then we also did a digital library just in case there was a student who wasn't able to access Wi-Fi at certain times or a laptop at specific times. So they couldn't make the Zoom calls. We provided a digital library where they could go back and look at past, activities and whatnot.
Right.
I do a lot of our fundraising and all of our marketing communication. So I worked really heavily with our programs team to create a very comprehensive printed engineering journal, which covered every single lesson, right? And our programs team, I'll say, was, really dedicated to making sure that even though, we were still reaching the same number of students, that the time that we spent was very important on focusing those programs to, the curricula that was most important. So the science skills that they don't have access to anymore because they aren't in labs. So they made sure that that curricula really lined up with the things that we felt might be lacking, as they weren't in the classrooms anymore. Yeah, that's what we've done, and we're continuing to do that this fall. Same programs. Summer was super successful, implementing the same program this fall, and then now into the spring 2021, we'll be doing the same exact thing. So it was a little bumpy spring of this year, but we found a pretty successful program over the summer, and it's been really great. So we've just continued on with that through the fall and now in the spring of 2021.
Phenomenal. So you're supporting kids right now who really need, they need a lot. So talk more about how you find your crew. I'll say it again: creative, resourceful, empowered women. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun. So we work with our local colleges. So as I mentioned, 80 plus schools across 23 districts. So we're headquartered here in Austin, but we have offices in Houston and North Texas. We have satellite offices in Boston and the Bay Area of California. So we're kind of all over the place. And so our team has gotten really good at reaching out and working with our local community colleges and universities in those regions that we're serving those students. And so it's really created this nice kind of opportunity for those students who, again, we're creating that mentorship and they're talking about college and they're like, oh, it's right down the street, and it's accessible, it's available. And so we're working with, here in Austin, UT a lot, in the Bay Area, we work with San Jose State and Stanford. So working with our colleges and, again, the students who are studying education or science, technology, engineering, and math. So it's really fun to be able to see the different perspectives that each student brings and each STEM group brings, because some of them are coming from teaching backgrounds and some of them are coming from engineering backgrounds, right? And so we do try to be strategic as well when we're partnering those mentors and those STEM crew with our students. We're strategic in making sure that we have a diverse presence in each classroom or virtual classroom this fall.
Right, exactly. All right, it will be, and I know, we all know it's going to happen eventually, but just after working so hard to keep this going virtually, it'll just be that extra amazing when we get to go back into in person,
Right. Well, and we've also found, like, this engineering journal that I spoke about, we found that our students really, really enjoyed having that physical book that they could hold on to and share with their families and their friends and reference and refer back to. So we decided that even when we go back in person, if we go back in person or however we continue in this world, we're going to continue making that book. So I think this experience has made our programs better, challenged our team in new ways, and made us think a little differently. Like I said, 23 years, you get into some habits and routines that are really successful, but it's nice to kind of challenge yourself in a new way. So, as difficult as it's been, it's also been really enlightening for our team to kind of amplify and enhance our programs.
I think that's the story, like, over and over and over. Here are the things we've learned, but there aren't necessarily all things that we'll just dump when we're back in person. I mean, everybody says, well, look how much more I can work from home. And not that we would ever cut off that in person, but there's just things we've changed and they aren't all bad. So that is a good thing.
Right.
Okay, so you told us who you are. You told us how you're pivoting during COVID. I want to know how the community can support GirlStart.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question too. It's always exciting to share our mission, but then when people are like, how can we get involved? How can we help? It feels really good. So thank you. And a great question. So there's a few different ways. I mean, primarily, if you're someone who has the capacity and is looking to participate in, in giving, we just celebrated Giving Tuesday the other day, and thank you so much for shouting us out on your page.
Sure.
We had a successful Giving Tuesday. If you're willing and you're able and wanting to support GirlStart financially, you can go to girlstart.org/give. Every donation and dollar is going to support these materials and these students and the curriculum development to get STEM into the hands of girls. Another way is our wish list, which I'll have my team post the link here. Our GirlStart wish list is super comprehensive and has things from like LED light bulbs that are $3 to, conductive tape that's $1.50 to kind of, those Ozo bots that we used over the summer, the robots that were like $100. So if you have 4 to 5 minutes and you just want to order something really quick and show your kids or your family member how to be, giving to your community, and you just want to ship something off to our office, you can do that. Go to Amazon, and I'll have my team, like I said, post the wish list, and you can just send an item our way and know that we'll get that in the hands of a 4th through 8th grader who will then apply that to a STEM, robot that she's building. Or we do lots of Mars rovers things and telescopes, lots of space talk in our program. So take a few minutes if you'd prefer to send a material that will get in the hands of a student, you can do that. And finally, if you just want to follow our newsletter, if you have a 4th through 8th grader who might be interested in participating in some of our programs, our community STEM is for anyone and everyone, boy, girl, student, non-student, teenager, it doesn't matter your age. We do lots of community STEM events. So you can go to girlstart.org/newsletter and sign up to get our programs information or to be a volunteer. So that's kind of the last piece there. If you do have volunteer time, we are doing some digital volunteer opportunities that you can do from home, which is great and safe and easy. And we're also doing some contactless volunteering. So as you can imagine, 80 schools, it's about 2,000 students each semester. And in COVID, we're doing 2,000 kits each semester. So we need lots of help cutting that conductive tape into 2-inch pieces and packing it and stuffing it and all of that. So doing contactless volunteering where you can just pull up to our West Anderson location, grab a bin, do some cutting while you're watching a holiday movie, stuff it in some bags and drop it back off at our office. So you can sign up for our newsletter and we'll get you signed up if you're available.
That's super amazing. I mean, those are all so actionable ways just to support. What an incredible, just such longevity. I feel like you're really, picked a great spot. I mean, it checks all the boxes that are really just going to help this population just, and I love hearing it's for everybody,
Great, yeah.
You're really trying to extend STEM out. And that was funny when you said stem cells. I know we're still like, wait, what does STEM stand for again? So, excellent. That's so great. Wow. We're just flying through. Do you have maybe like a fun story or something from working with any of the girls, or just anything that you've gone through? Just personalize it a little bit for us.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think.
And I did not prep her at all in this question. I'm just throwing this at her.
You're totally fine. No. I'm just thinking, what we hear a lot is about, is from parents who are like, oh, I wish I had GirlStart when I was a student, or oh, I wish that GirlStart was a part of my education when I was a young student. I would have maybe gotten into this or that. And I think that's one of my favorite things about GirlStart is that although we primarily focus on our 4th through 8th grade demographic, because studies have shown that, the earlier you can introduce girls and students to STEM, the more likely they are to possibly choose a career path in that. Because then they're now, aware that they can be an engineer or an aerospace, this or that. But I still continue to tell our parents and our community members that, we do have our community STEM programs, and it doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are or what you look like or what your access is to materials. We're talking like tape and scissors for the most part, markers and pencils and an 8.5 by 11 piece of print paper. And you can still challenge yourself and learn something new and fun with our community STEM program. So, it's as easy as, just going to our website. We're actually celebrating our December program, which I should have mentioned earlier. But it's 30. Yes, exactly. It's 31 days of STEM fun. So we start it and kick it off on December 1st, and we go all the way through the 31st of the month. And every day it's a new activity. And it's so fun for all ages. And so those parents who are like, man, I wish I had that when I was a kid. I was like, you do have it. It's online. Like you just go to December.org, different activity. And it's just like fun stuff. You can do it with your spouse or a friend. Girls' night, you can have some wine and you can shoot your hoop gliders that you create and you engineer over your whatever. Like it's so much fun, and it's for all ages and everyone. And I will say that this year, our December program is also highlighting a woman in STEM that relates to that activity. So if you're creating a hoop glider, which was our first activity on December 1, it's about aerospace engineering. You get to meet a woman in engineering and hear about her story, how she got there. So each day you have your hands-on activity, which is like fun for the family. But then you also have your connection to the career and a woman who's currently doing that or has done that or was a groundbreaker in doing it. So it's a really fun program that, you can do. And it's perfect for the holidays, which is why we do it in December, because got some downtime and some family time and some time. So yeah.
Oh yeah. I will definitely be for sure sharing that with my brother. No question. He has 2 children who would be really excited about that for sure. And maybe I'll make my own hoop glider.
There you go. Yes, exactly. There's some fun like LED bracelets and different things. So soap.
So cool.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Get all the little niches in the household essentially.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I found some colored chalk and I'm like, I'm just going to go draw in the driveway. I mean, like literally I've nothing to do. Go draw in the driveway.
Of all the years, right? This is the year to kind of like, and just embrace the downtime and the fun.
Absolutely. I mean, take our minds off, yeah,
exactly.
that's highly recommended. So, man, you guys are really, you're just doing such a great job, doing a bang up job. That's what I was trying to say, doing a bang up job. And is there anything I haven't asked you about that you'd like to share before we close?
No, I think thank you again so much for inviting me today and for, sharing GirlStart's mission with your community. I love what you do, and I did more research and looked in, and I just love your community and your network. And so thank you for dedicating some time to us and to our organization. I know you're an avid supporter of the community and nonprofit. So thank you for highlighting GirlStart and GirlStart.org. You can go there and find anything and everything you might need.
I always learn so much. I mean, I do the interviews just because of my heart, and then I learn so much. Like, it's just, I love what I learn. It's a give and get kind of thing. So thank you for your time today. Thanks for all the hard work you're doing. I mean, pivoting in all this crazy time and just making sure you're bringing the most high quality, life-changing stuff to the girls. Incredible. So I really enjoyed talking to you today, and I hope to meet in person someday. We're not really that far. We're fairly geographically located. It's close.
Yes.
But yeah, very, very good. So thank you so much for all your time today, and I will see you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, and have a good holiday. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too. Bye.